Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Kasinga gumi aham. Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Kasinga gumi aham. Amen. Amen. Pio, pio, pio. Hello Zimbabwe, tasangana zvakare vana vaMwari. Ndine muranda wenyu Jeremiah, ndiri mamutare guta remuchinjiko, patiri kukomita matare ose in reconciling the Wesley movement yaBaba Johani neIgnatian movement yaTenzi Ginazio. Takakomita the Wesley movement tichishandisa characters Dr. E.D. Munangagwa, Senator Douglas Monzora from the Cat family, the leopard and the Shumba lion of the Gurundoros and kingdom of Swatini. Tikakomita the Ignatian Jesuit movement tichishanda characters Dr. Constantino Guve Chiwenga, a Dominican Catholic Jesuit, na Nelson Chamisa as the Pentecostal subject of AFM. Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Kasinga gumi aham. Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Kasinga gumi aham. Amen. Amen. Pio, pio, pio. Ndizvo saka takataura zvekuti mwaka wenyasha dzakapuhwa chechi wakapera gore ra2000, wokubva tapinda muthe hour yatinoti nguva yashe. Nguva yashe benchmarked by 2 jubilees of a jubilee. First silver jubilee of the 2 yakanga iri restorations. We restored our land, we restored our cardinal legacy, our Shekinah priesthood glory, our Christian decorum, and our Shekinah motherhood moral fabrics. This second silver jubilee from 2026 is the second jubilee for reinstatements. After restoration, we now have to reinstate our parameters and protocol from the Mwene Mutapa Triumviracy to the Muno Mutapa Cabinet, the Paramount Chieftaincy, the Chieftaincy, Sub-Chiefs, and the Headmen. As our last cabinet in that protocol, which means the public gallery is presided over by headmen. Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Garamune sujeso. Kasinga gumi aham. Amen. Amen. Pio, pio, pio. So in that cardinal setup, we now consider Dr. E.D. Munangagwa as our Wesleyan head of state, state of the Cat family, from the Asiatic behemoth to the domestic cat, putting the leopard into perspective as the cardinal of the Shumba clan of Mutasa dynasty. We committed Dr. Constantino Gouveia Chiwenga for the slot of our Ignition Jesuit movement patron. So we now have the Ignition movement dynasty under this Mukwati Soko Cat family progenitor of the Mukwati dynasty of the Mukanya Soko family. So Dr. Constantino Gouveia Chiwenga is now our Ignition head of the Soko Mukanya dynasty as the progeny of the Mukwati progenitor, hence his position as our cardinal and patron of the Ignition movement in our Christian patronage. Gara mune sujesum, gara mune sujesum, gara mune sujeso, singa gumi aham. Gara mune sujesum, gara mune sujeso, gara mune sujeso, singa gumi aham. Gara mune sujeso, gara mune sujeso, gara mune sujeso, singa gumi aham. Amen. Amen. Pio, pio, pio. So in reconciling our Ignatian Jesuit movement and the Wesley movement of our 7 sacraments, we now put Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa into perspective as our Wesley movement patron in our Christian patronage, and Dr. Constantino Gouveia Chiwenga as our patron in the Ignatian Jesuit movement in reconciling our Christian patronage. For Zimbabwe to be a Christian country, everybody must be drafted in as a Christian patron and a Christian matron in all aspects, putting our triune testimonial faculties into perspective with our physical faculty, spiritual faculty, and mental faculty now integrated and in triangulating our land of Zimbabwe, our motherland. Gara mune sujeso, gara mune sujeso, gara mune sujeso, singa gumi aham. Amen. Amen. Pio, pio, pio. So after articulating our land of Zimbabwe or Dzivaguru through its cardinal anatomy, we now deposit our land of Dzivaguru at its umbilical cord of origin in Chief Chiunduramoyo Gambiza Stables, Midlands. After doing that, we then go for the fortification. We can only fortify our country, Zimbabwe, after repatriating our statehood in its triune testimonial faculties represented by deities Chingaira, Chinengundu, and Mbuyaneanda. Hence, the need to incorporate all stakeholders for the repatriation of our deities from Buckingham Palace through Canterbury of England. Gara mune sujesum, gara mune sujesum, gara mune sujeso, singa gumi aham. Amen. Amen. Pio, pio, pio. Yeah, so the repatriation of our statehood is done at the highest level, which means we are going to be upgrading some of our leaders to the status of rulers. So we are going to be installing rulers of our leaders. So the leadership of our two cotyledons integrated as PF, ZAPU, and ZANU-PF would then give us a Shumba Murambwi for the Ket family dynasty and the Mukwati Mukanya of the Mukwati progenitor dynasty in Dr. Constantino Guve Chiwenga. Dr. Constantino Guve Chiwenga is a Catholic with his rosary. Is going to represent the Catholic Jesuit movement as patron in Christianity, patronage. Then Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, representing the Ket family, will then assume the role of our Wesley movement patron. So we are going to be integrating these patrons from the Jesuit Ignition movement stable and the Wesley Johanic movement stable, with our convener as Munhu Mutapa Zimunya in Gutara Jehovah urbanization, where he is going to be our principal governor and convener. Principal governor and convener as Monomutapa Zimunya. He is going to then do some coronations for each and every altar of our paternal priesthood of our maternal priesthood of our matrimonial trinity. So we are going to be having 7 critical altars. Each altar is going to be given a monomutapa, which means emperor or commander-in-chief. So we are going to have a commander-in-chief for altar Harawa, which is Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa. Then as monomutapa, he is no longer a leader, he is now a ruler. In that regard, presiding over the Gurundoro altar of Harava in Harare. We have got the altar Nyangani, Simbot is going to be elevated. We have got the altar Mureng Jelele. Dr. Constantino Gove Chiwenga is going to be elevated there. We have got Taba Zinduna, Dr. Retired General Sivanda is going to be elevated there. We have got Nyangani for the Simbotis. Then we have got Chiwenga for Neshangwe. Then Bocha Marange is our pyramidic altar. Pyramidic altar is regarded as Jehovah's altar. Hence, Mwapondera becoming our Mwene Chiro Africa, or Mwene Mutapa of our triumvirate kingdom, upon a revival by propagating our monomutapas with the kingship priesthood of Iskwatini under Simboti Moskwati. So yeah, that's the nature of our presentation in a reference to reconciling Christian cosmos by reconciling deities and reconciling our movements, the Jesuit Ignition movement with the patron Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, the Ignition Jesuit movement with Dr. Constantino Gove Chiwenga, with all generals being reconciled at Altar Ntabazinduna with General Retired Sivanda as the candidate for the priesthood presiding over the atonement for generals at Altar Ntabazinduna. So yeah, to be continued. My name is Jeremiah, reporting from the portal of Gutara Jehovah Zimunya.